now medical student in the University of Buea, and he's here with us to share with us some of the techniques that he has been able to use through WhatsApp and other e-learning platforms to teach a student in medicine. His name, Mr. Lukuman. Mr. Lukuman is here, and we shall be joining him after the jingle. Stay with us. Lukuman Nyami is also the CEO of an uprising organization. He's here to throw more light on that. Hello, Mr. Nyami Lukuman. Good day and thanks for joining us.
Thank you very much, sir. It's my honor.
It's your first time on CMTV.
Yeah, exactly.
So how do you find our studio?
Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's out of what I thought it was going to be. So, but I'm really impressed of what I'm seeing here.
Most people don't know we have been on for so many years now. Close to a decade. Can you believe?
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, and we are doing so well on YouTube. If you are just online, we want to greet you as well. Just to say that this program is brought to you by our own very director, Nabila. Behind the camera is Mr. Fozo, and the program is being supervised by the station boss, Mr. Nkwine Chamba. He's here with us. And so back to you, Mr. Lukuman. Can we know the short story behind you?
Okay, I'm Nyami Lukuman. I'm a medical student at the Faculty of Health Sciences, University of Buea, and also the president and founder of Global Minds Metamorphosis and Development Organization and Guaranteed Success Center. Now, Global Minds Metamorphosis and Development Organization is an organization which is focused on humanitarian projects. It's meant at helping, underprivileged children, also giving back to our community, maybe in terms of mentorship, helping other students, to realize their dreams, and, getting the best out of their talents, which God has actually given to them. Then when you come to Guaranteed Success Center, it's basically for education. That's what we are meant to do. That's just what a Guaranteed Success Center is meant for, education. So it goes after maybe starting from secondary school. It follows up the students, getting up to when they're writing their entrance exams into their different faculties in Cameroon and even maybe abroad. That's what Guaranteed Success Center is based on doing. And, Guaranteed Success Center is also involved in writing books that help students simplify, concepts that, make students that seem to be very difficult. It makes students to, understand the thing better. And we also have, like a YouTube platform for Guaranteed Success Center where topics are being taught, in the context of Cameroon, the Cameroon syllabus. Most of the times when a student logs in on YouTube, search for a topic, most of what appears is usually the topics, or maybe the lectures that appear are from foreigners. There are foreigners that make the lectures, and they make it according to a particular syllabus. Maybe you hear something about the GSCE and all of that. But Guaranteed Success Center came in with this other concept of bring in the lecture according to the syllabus of the nation, so the students can best relate with that. Yeah, exactly. That's basically what we do.
Wonderful, incredible, I must say. And your specialty is biology.
Actually, since I left advanced level since 2016. I've been teaching students both biology, chemistry, physics, maths, further maths even. But you see, since I'm in med school, I can best say that, okay, biology, I can, handle biology to a certain extent more than I can do with the other ones.
Medicine school.
Medical school.
Medical school.
Exactly, yeah. That's how we call it sometimes, Now, when there, I can say I have, I can go detailing in biology to a certain extent than what I can do with chemistry, because I'm not a chemistry student. So if I'm teaching students chemistry, I will just, teach you up to your level, like advanced level. But if you go beyond that, I might not really be able to, give you details as of what I'm going to give you in biology, because I'm doing medicine, and so I can go deeper into that. Yeah.
To put more life into what you have said, we are going to visit our dashboard with some pictures to lay more emphasis on what you have shared with us. And so let's go to our studio with our director to visit some pictures. Okay, here.
This is Nusa Mekyo.
Okay.
Yes, he's second year medical student in the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Sciences.
Okay.
in University of Douala.
University of Douala.
Yeah, he's going to his third year. Okay. He was in the second year, he's going to the third year. And here is Njomo. He's a first year engineering student in Polytechnic Douala.
Wow.
So he's going to his second year also this year.
Just so that both of them send us voice notes.
Yeah.
Testimony that you actually mentor them.
Yeah, exactly.
And
here, this current program we are running this program. This is Guarantee Success Center Preparatory Classes.
We shall come back to this.
Exactly.
Yes, so it is for advanced level science and GCE. And here?
Okay, here is the program at the orphanage, which we are currently running. Okay. So we visit these children at the orphanage, and we give them extra classes. We have mentorship lessons with them. We teach them some things about life, how maybe topics like discipline and many other things. And okay, this is still on different sessions. So this you are going to have
the orphanage?
Yeah, still at the same orphanage.
Okay.
So we have the children. We have divided them into different groups. So each day we are going to have a particular group. Then with this picture, this one is another program that is still on ground.
Okay.
So we are organizing a back to school campaign.
Okay.
And our target, we are looking at sending back 1,000 children to school this year.
Wow.
And probably buying school materials for them, paying the fees of some of them. And that's the program we are running. So we are going to, it's actually ongoing, but we are going to be carrying it out probably by the 5th of October.
Let's educate Africans.
Yeah. Then here is a picture of the practical session that I organized with students after the COVID-19 lockdown.
Okay.
So these students, after they had been in school, they had, some of them did not have practicals and many other situations which they faced. And because of that, I organized this session with more than 100 students, both in Douala and in Boya.
Okay.
Yes, this is a session of one of our practical classes on biology.
Okay. What are you doing here?
Here we are carrying out an experiment on osmosis. Yeah, then here is dissection.
Okay, dissection of what?
We are doing dissection of the chick and dissection of fish. We carry out those two dissections the same day.
Okay.
And that is the dissection of the chick. That's a picture of the chick.
What is particular about this process?
Now, this particular one, it helped the students. Like most of the students, when they went to the exams, they could actually, because what came in their exams, they had the chick, they had the fish, so they could answer the questions without any form of doubt.
Okay.
And when they were answering it, in fact, most of the questions I asked them that day, and we tried to do some displays on it. All of them came.
I can see you here with a selfie.
Yeah, those are the students in class. I was having a class with them still after the lockdown of COVID-19.
Means you have a very good relationship with the administration.
Yeah.
So what about this program?
Okay, this is actually a current. This program is also current.
Ongoing.
Yeah, it's ongoing in Douala and in Boya.
Okay.
So we are helping students, prepare for their different concours, or let's say competitive exams.
We focus on medical and
engineering students.
Okay.
This is my picture. This is my picture at the faculty. There? These are the faculty.
Okay. One of those fateful days. Okay, we are back here in the studio. Thank you so much, Director, for selecting some of the best this picture here that will certainly update our viewers back home on the caliber and orientation of our guests for today. Just to indicate that you have a topic there for contribution. E-education, is it effective? Okay, e-education, is it effective? We will be taking your various contributions at the last part of this program. And so we are back here in the studio with our guest, Mr. Lukuman. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
So we have visited your album. Is there something missing that did not reach our studio on time?
Okay. Now it's just like to throw more light on what has already been displayed.
Okay.
The orphanage program that we are running. You see, children at the orphanage most of the times, we visit them. You know, we can give them gifts. It's a very good gesture. Okay. You know, but you see, most of the times we don't ask ourselves, how do these children cope? Right. What happens to them after probably they have left the orphanage, or how are they faring? How are they faring with their own education and all of that? Is there a private teacher for them? And all of that. So we asked ourselves those questions, and then we finally came up with a project. Now, during this period, we said, okay, we are going to reach out to these children. We'll take out. Now, when we went there, we discovered that these children had problems with reading. They actually go to school, but they have problems with reading. Meaning, you can actually pay the fees of a student, of a child at the orphanage to go to school, but who is there to follow the child up?
Assistance.
Like, you know, even the people at the orphanage, they're having so much work. You know, they might have so much work in a way that they might not have time, you know, to focus on some of those things. So you as individuals, we made up our mind that, okay, we're going to help these children. Now, even the program runs from Saturday to Mondays. So we go to this orphanage. We have reading sessions with these children. The program is, we have volunteers that are also medical students. They come there on different days and on different schedules, you know, to take these children either on lessons on how to read and write, or it can be on maybe, let's say, mentorship, teaching them on discipline, you know, teaching them other topics, self-hygiene, you know, sanitation. You teach them how to brush their teeth. You teach them other things, you know, apart from that. Then the other aspect about the let's educate Africans is a vision that I had, you know, because one of the problems today, you go out on the street, you see children, you ask them, do you go to school? A child is like, no, I don't go to school. Then you're like, what? And you see the main thing there is money. It's finances. That's where most of their problems come from. So we made up our minds and said, okay, how can we be able to assist these children? How can we be able to assist them? We can be able to send them to school. Maybe we can organize a back-to-school campaign for them. There are some that we can just assist the parents, you know, work hand in hand with the parents to make sure that these children, okay, they get back to school. And concerning, you know, the other program about the preparatory classes, yes, we are looking at, you know, most of the time when I was about coming to the faculty, you know, they usually organize classes, you know, all the time when they launch these exams, you know, to train these students to get into their different schools and into these different schools. But you see, the person that is teaching you, you ask yourself, is this person actually giving me the right answer? Because I discovered probably after I'd already been in the faculty that some of the answers that were being taught were actually wrong. You know, the answers were actually wrong. The answers the teachers they gave us were actually wrong. So I made up my mind and said, okay, I am not going to give a wrong answer, allow a student take a wrong answer into the exam hall. If the student is not being selected, it should not be my fault. It should either be the fault of the student or maybe other factors that contribute for the non-selection of the student, but it shouldn't be mine. So I made up my mind and said, okay, I am going to carry out this. I am going to do this. So then if you look at it, we have probably say books that we, you know, some materials that help a student to understand faster. Biology is a very bulky topic or a very bulky subject. You have like 27 topics that the student is supposed to cover before going in for an exam. They say advanced level GCE. But we look at it and say, okay, how can we be able to summarize these 27 topics in such a way that a student can, you know, get the essentials out of it? Because if you don't understand, if a student is just reading something to, if a student is just reading something maybe to wind time or maybe to cram, you know, cram work, you just want to cram and write the exam. Sometimes without having an understanding of the concept, you are still going to face a lot of difficulties in the future. If you want to do medicine, for example, and you don't have a good basis in biology, sometimes when they say some things, you just want to cram them, but you are not going to have a good understanding of that particular concept.
Okay, Mr. Lukuman, Mr. CEO, I want to ask, what fuels your passion?
All right. I have this. I'm born. I have this gift of teaching. The gift of teaching is not something that maybe I was trained to do or I've been trained to do. I was born to do it. So I take it upon me to see because I looked at it when I look at my environment and I look at how I grew up or how I left maybe or how I've gone through education. The kind of teachers that taught me, the kind of institution in which I went to, and all of that.
Which time? Daily school?
Okay, yeah, I went to daily school. I've never gone to a boarding school before. Yeah, I've been just to daily school, you know.
Has that play on your disadvantage?
Actually, no. No, I can say no. Because, you know, going to a daily school actually helped me a lot. You know, it helped me a lot. How? Because I had nobody telling me to study my book on time, or maybe somebody will be behind you with a cane and telling you study your book, do this and all of that. So I took it upon myself to manage my time. So right from class 1, yes, I was living with people, but each time I come back, nobody takes my book, you know, to say, okay, I want to teach you. What did you learn in school today? And then nobody asks me that. When I come and present what I did, that's all. I just keep it there, and there's there's actually nobody to follow it up. But you see, that actually helped me a lot because if I've not been through those schools that I went through, they contributed to what I am doing today. Because actually, it is from there that I see some of the problems that people are facing or students are actually facing, and I'm seeking in order to correct it. So I'm looking at how can I be able to impact these students, or how can I be able to make these students not go through the same thing I went through.
Do you have the impression that they are following you?
Yeah, of course. I actually have a good number of students. Sometimes, you know, you just see a student can come up, you know, and they're like, say, thank you very much, you did this, you did that. You know, I have students that call me from Garuwa, and I've never been to Garuwa before, but, you know, they text me on WhatsApp, you know, they get my number on social media, they text me on WhatsApp, and they're like, wow, thank you, sir, very much, and so on. So I actually, I have an idea. I've had a lot of testimonies from students that have never been to where they are before. So I know that obviously as I'm doing what I'm doing, I have a good number of people that are following up.
Your particularity is that you do your classes online, e-learning for most of them. This necessitates some megabyte, some gigabyte.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, how do you sponsor your activities?
Okay. How I sponsor the activities. Now, I started in, as I said, I started in 2017.
Yes.
You know, I started teaching in the school. After I left advanced level, I started doing some teaching. Now, from there, I started these extra classes with students that all the vision came from just an extra class. So there were students that used to have difficulties in different subjects, and I knew that I could explain the concepts to them very well at the time. So I started those classes. Then from there, of course, I went to the next level where, okay, normally when they attend the classes, they pay money. They pay some.
No, when you are talking about money, make it explicit, like to attend this particular class, they pay this amount, so that one can be able to understand. Because those who are following us are young people, are old people that have come back from their work sites. Some have come back from school. So many walks of life, and they want to have a clue of what you are talking about.
Okay, now I'm still back then. So at that time, a student could pay, let's say, 5,000 francs for a month.
Okay.
Yes, and when you pay 5,000 francs for a month, I don't care whether you're doing 5 subjects or you're doing 6 subjects. But all is that because it's just like a token, maybe for me to pay the rent of wheresoever I was using, or maybe to, you know, help finance some other things too. Actually, so I will do that. You can pay 5,000 francs in a month, and you attend all the classes. And the classes were like, I run the classes every day after school. That's how I started. Now, but you see, towards this period of COVID-19,
yes,
during this period of COVID-19, we started with the online classes because we saw it as a very big challenge. You know, we could not meet students on site the way we used to do, and then I now ask myself, Brett, I had the contacts of some of these students that we helped train them in the classes. That we helped train them for their concours, or let's say competitive exams. So we had their contacts. We usually work with them online sometimes, just for them to send their questions, and then maybe somebody comes there, give a response at the particular time. So during that period, we now open up. So we now send the links. We open up to the whole nation, and many students from different places, they had to join the group. The first group was, WhatsApp can take up to 256. Yes. But you see, the first group got full, and I had to create a second one. So I created the second one. The second group it was still full. So we had the third one? No, we not create that, because it actually entailed a lot of work. Okay. Because I had about 38 teachers that I was programming lectures for every day, and each person had to teach at a particular time. I had to follow them up, for them to teach in one group, and then I had to get another teacher to teach in the second group.
Man, you have been doing a lot of great things, sir.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So so why doing that? Why looking at that? You see, it was so much work for me to create a third group, because if I create a third group, you entail that I look for more teachers and all of that. So I just try to maintain. But if it was on Telegram, because Telegram can take about 2,000 participants, it could have been better. But you see, their phones are not compatible with the Telegram. Most of their phones are not up to the standard. Yes. So that's why we had to remain on WhatsApp, and that's why we had to create 2 groups for those students. So we covered, I can say, 50% of their syllabus there with them, and that one was for free. That one was for free. So there was a time that we bought, I could activate data or megabytes for the teachers that were supposed to teach, in case they did not have. So I did that for them, and they could they could come in. Then we left from there. We had lectures. We also organized lectures on YouTube. We organized lectures on YouTube on the page GSC Education. So we had, I think by now there should be about 5,000 views, close to 5,000 views. Wow. Yes. So most students actually went through. So we organized. I gave lessons on different topics, concerning, and mostly it was science. It's for sciences. Wow. That's what we were doing. So talking about the finances is financing the different programs, or let's say the online learning that we were doing. It was from my personal pocket. Yeah.
Okay, I think a lot of literature here. We'll visit again our studio, get some few videos of these activities. We'll be back.
Yes.
Welcome back, dear friends. You are just joining us. You are on Afrobuzz Boya. We have been live here from Boya. I am today in the company of Mr. Lukman. He is a medical student from the University of Boya, but also the CEO of a serious organization that focuses on preparing students for national concours, notably School of Medicine and Engineering. With us here, he has been sharing experience on what occupied him during the COVID-19 era and even still up to now. Having visited a number of orphanages around town to accompany them in their learning process, he is here today in the platform to share to us how he is using e-learning platforms to enhance and put food on his table. Welcome back, Mr. Lukman.
Thank you very much.
So far, we have chatted a lot about your previous activities.
Yeah.
I want to invite you now to first comment on the WhatsApp platform, and after we shall be talking about some of your current projects.
Okay. All right. Concerning the WhatsApp classes that you just saw, and I'm sure when they were displaying it, you could see some, hands that were raised up.
Yes.
Now that was when we want to start our class. We used to ask students, if you're online, please indicate. So the students will indicate. When a good number of them indicate, then we're going to start up with the class. With the teacher introduces him or herself, and then then they now go on with the class, introduce the topic, and then they now move on. If a student has a question, they should ask it and all of that. So there we could be able to reach out to more than 500 students on just the WhatsApp platform. Okay. But before that, we had I did a research before using the platform. I did a research, and I found out that having an on-site class with the students is there's a research that was conducted where students had classes on-site with the teacher, and another group of students had the same class on WhatsApp. Now, the only difference, there was not actually a significant difference, statistical significant difference between those two groups of students in their scores. But the only thing is, because the student is continually exposed to the phone, the radiation from the phone, light from the phone is hitting the eyes and all of that, so it could lead to eye problems in a short while. Okay. And then for the other one about the dissection, I already said it before. We had students, we had reached out to more than 100 students because we organized several dissection classes. Here we organized one here in Buea, and we organized another in Douala.
About your current project, you told us that you are currently preparing students for entrance into major schools of medicine and engineering.
Exactly.
Where is the training taking place?
It's at Buea. It's at HIMS, the campus opposite Orange Moliko. Okay. And then when you go to Douala, it's at Hype University Institute, the one besides Chateau. That's how they call it. Chateau. It's beside the park, the Gare Routière, as they call it in French.
So you, as the administrator, you practically navigate every week from Buea to Douala?
Yeah, I go every week from here to Douala to see how they are running, because I'm focused here on the students that are in Buea. So I go to Douala every week, at least every weekend. I check on them. I look at how far has the work been covered. Are the students picking up? Then if not, if some students are not responsive or they are not serious, then I will be able to call the parents, and tell them about the student. Or maybe if the child is having some difficulties, probably because of the work they are having at home, I try to see how I can discuss with the parent, to adjust the timetable of the student to better suit the student. Then the student, after their classes and after they have written, then they can, do other activities. But for now,
throughout your discussion, you have been talking about we. So, do you have other team members like teachers who also?
Yeah, of course. Such a work you can't do it alone. If you want to do it alone, you just you won't even have time to breathe, But just like I said before, if you just the online platform that we had about 38 teachers. Just imagine you want to handle all the subjects alone and all the days, because we're having about 3 lectures a day. There was one in the morning, and from 6 o'clock to about 8:30. Since we know the students were in the house, so they will probably have chores within the day. So we could start another class at 6 and up to even 12 midnight, and students were connected since they were studying from home.
So what is the caliber of your teachers? What are their portfolios?
Okay, my kind of teachers are mostly teachers from professional schools. Those are students. Student professionals. Okay. So we have students from engineering schools. Say FET, we have Faculty of Engineering and Technology. Here in the University of Buea, you have College of Technology. You have Polytechnique Douala, which was formerly called Faculty of Industrial Engineering in Douala. Then you have students also from ENS. You can have students from biomedical sciences, students from medical background like medicine.
How do you connect to them?
Okay, most of these students are students I've trained before. So most of them, how I got in contact with them is, when you are in class as a student, I know you very well. I know what you are capable of doing. Now, when I worked with them before I started alone, but you see, the first year I worked with them, the students that passed. So I proposed, I talked to them about the project, and then those that were interested were able to join me in the second year. So the other year also, we also trained a good number of students that passed, and the other students were interested in the vision, and they also had to join.
You have such a fine mind. When I follow your strategy, it looks so inclusive. I want to ask you, are they all committed like you?
Yeah. They are 100% committed. Like, I can say that I'm freely here in Boya. I can sleep well because I know that, okay, every time